The best way to become a good salesperson is to love what you do so much that you feel you're doing people an injustice or a disservice if you don't get them to work with you. I want to frame selling a little bit different over the next few minutes and think about, let me ask you a question. Was Martin Luther King a salesman? Yes. Was Mother Teresa a saleswoman? Yes. Right. If they didn't know how to sell and persuade, you wouldn't be following. We wouldn't know who they were. They wouldn't have made such a massive impact on the world. So think about selling. When I said this before, when you think about a favorite movie, a favorite book, a favorite anything that you do, when you tell a friend, name some things. Let's do this. If you're your best version of yourself, you're sharing with somebody a book that transformed your life, a chiropractor that made you feel better, a green drink that gave you energy and you could get off coffee. When you're sharing that with someone, name some of the ways you feel when you're excited and you're sharing something. What are some of the emotions you're feeling? Or how are you acting, I should say? Your passion, right? So we have passion, right? You're excited. I shouldn't put anything up here that I have to spell. You're grateful. What else? You're happy, right? Are you animated, right? Are you animated? What else are you when you're in that space? You're energized, right? So let's just look at this. So when someone says to me, I don't like selling or I'm not good at selling, I say, okay, but explain to me, tell me your favorite movie. The same person that could tell me they don't like to sell. And I say, tell me about the last movie that you watched. Like, oh my God, you should see the last Star Wars was so incredible. You didn't do it. Luke Skywalker, you thought was this and that. They get done. And then I'm like, you're really not good at selling. So I'll say, explain to me some of the things you just were. Well, I was passionate, excited. I was enthusiastic. I was grateful, happy, animated, energized. Some of the things you shared. Wouldn't you like to live your whole life like that? Like that to me describes the best version of me. So if you can switch in your mind what selling is and just think it's a time for me to be the best version of myself, then what I want to tell you is do everything in your power to live more here and get more yeses. But here's how you got to unwind it. Is the best way to become a good salesperson is to love what you do so much that you feel you're doing people an injustice or a disservice if you don't get them to work with you. When you can feel that way, listen, I love all the sales strategies you need, but when you can change to go, if I don't get them to work with me, I'm doing them a disservice. When I go in front of a stage or I'm on front of a camera, I'm thinking to myself, if I don't get them to reach in their pocket and grab their credit card, I am screwing them. Because there's only two things that are going to happen. You're either not going to do anything, and if you loved your life the way it was, you'd be doing something different than sitting in this room with me. You'd be going having cocktails or having fun someplace else. You're here because you want to gain capabilities to go to another level. True or true? I've never said that before, but since Cody said it, I thought it was true. Oh, no, it's yes or yes. Sorry. That was Harv Eker. Harv Eker created yes or yes, and now everybody uses that, so I will never use it. But think about that, is if I don't get people to say yes, there's only two things that can happen. You go back to the life that you're not 100% happy with, or one of my competitors is a better salesperson, but with not as good quality product, and they get your yes. And I can't help you then because you're with somebody else. So when people say to me, what's the secret to selling? I said, care so much about what you do that if you don't get people to work with you, you're screwing them over. That's how I can push sales. That's why I obsess on learning marketing. That's why I can obsess on sales, because I know I'm the person that can help you. So with that in mind, just that little bit, does that change the way you feel about selling immediately? So when you go in there, if you know you're the person that can get them the most for their house, you know that you can get that house into an investor at a fair price. You know you can make the process easier than anyone else. If you believe that with all of you, then all of a sudden selling isn't selling. It's doing that person a service because they get to work with you. And I believe that with all of me. And when I do that, all of a sudden, I'm going to push people as hard as I can to take action. I'm not afraid to sell. I don't apologize to sell. You'll see some people when they go to sell. Do you ever watch a car salesman? Or how many people have been to a live event besides mine where somebody sold something? Did you ever watch a speaker present And especially if someone's a professional speaker. I'm not a professional speaker. I get up and just share. You can tell I'm not like, I don't have everything dialed in. I don't dress like a speaker. I don't act like a speaker. I just come up and talk. But do you ever watch a really good speaker, especially if they have a sales presentation? And they'll do the perfect thing and they'll stand at the perfect spot and then they'll give you one of these and they got everything. And then do you ever watch when they change? Next time you watch a speaker, watch when they go into the CTA, the call to action. When it's time to say, okay, here's what you can get today and here's the money I want to get from you. They'll be animated, they're great. And then all of a sudden when it's time to sell, they'll go, and here's what we have to offer. They start clicking and they get nervous and they act different and their voice cracks because they feel bad. They're apologizing for the sale. I would never buy anything from anybody who is apologizing for the sale. You read their body language without even realizing it, because if they don't believe in it, when you just hire someone to sell someone else's shit, right? They're just doing it because they make a 12% commission on the sales they make that day. They're not living the experience, right? And you can see that they're apologizing for the sale. You can watch this. Next time you watch someone that sells from stage, they not only step back they'll step back physically sometimes. They're like, yeah, and you could do this, and then you get this, and then all of a sudden they'll get to the sale and they'll go, and today we have this incredible offer. They're stepping back because they're apologizing. Step into it. And the only way you step into it is by believing in what you do so much that it takes away the fear. Does that make sense?